Good morning, Lions Talk Live. What's up, Lions fans? What's up, everyone in the chat? How you doing this morning? Greetings and salutations to you all. Super excited to be here on a Wednesday morning. We got a lot of stuff to go through today, and it's going to be exciting, I think, anyway. If for those of you who don't know, I'm your substitute for the week while Dan's having fun jumping in volcanoes out in Iceland. He seems to be having a good time out there. I've been chatting with him quite a bit, and I think I think he misses you all. But I told him, don't worry about it. I got it covered. We'll see how it goes with that. I want to put in here. Let me hit this. Don't forget, we got Do Crew merchandise on lionstalklive.com. So don't forget to go out there, grab some of that good stuff, be a part of the group, be part of the crew. I want everyone to know that he appreciates you very much, and it's going to be exciting today to talk about what I want to talk about, and that is, can Hutch be the greatest rusher in Lions history? And the reason I'm bringing this up is yesterday while we were talking, I threw out 15 sacks because someone asked, I think, what do you think he's going to get this year or whatever. And I firmly believed that is a possibility. I'm not saying he's guaranteed to get it or anything like that, but somebody put in the comment section of the video yesterday that I was crazy, more or less, and that no one in the history of the Lions have ever gotten that. Porsche, Ezekiel Ansah, none of those guys, and it still made me think. Obviously I wasn't going to get into like a keyboard argument, but since I'm on the show live and it's my show right now, I can do whatever I want, right? So what I'm saying is, why not? Why not this year? Why not? I think he's already better than Ansah ever was because he's been healthy for 2 straight seasons. Let's face it, right? Excuse me. But anyway, I want to know what your thoughts are. We'll talk about this a little more as I get into the comments. But for now, let's get into the comments, and we'll start right here with Robert Yankee. Greetings and salutations, all. Good morning to you, Robert. How you doing this morning? How you doing? Robert, I was surprised by Dan's breaking news at the volcano yesterday. Yeah, he sent me a text and he's like, did you see my video? And I'm like, what? I'm like, no, I'm not just always doing your channel for you. No, just kidding. But no, I checked it out, and yeah, that's pretty cool. You guys know he's a huge Bates fan. Wants nothing else in the world for him to come and be a Detroit Lion, it seems like. So yeah, that was pretty cool. Him sending a little video for y'all straight from the volcano. Bo Booth, good morning, Do Crew. Good morning to you, Bo. Welcome back, Sarge. Appreciate you. Should the crew be getting ready to rumble? I see Super Bowl. Woo! Yeah, I think so. Let's rumble. I'm here. I got my coffee. Got my Stormtrooper this morning, because it's Wednesday and I'm feeling a little dark. But let's do it. Let's do it for sure. Matthew Grice, greetings and salutations. Greetings to you too, Matthew. Good morning, everyone. Superdome, Super Bowl. Woo! Yeah, you guys are going to make me do that all day, aren't you? Moonscar Blade, what you gonna do when the black and Honolulu blue tide roll over you? Woo! Do Crew. You're right on. I love that. Hokey Do, good morning, Sarge. Good morning to you. Sarge and the Do Crew. Woo! Oh, I'm gonna be hoarse by the end of this. How does Dan do this every day? Property Lord, good morning. 80 more days until kickoff. I'm for it. Good morning to you. Brent DeWitt, good morning, Sergeant Do Crew. Lombardi or bust? Oh, yeah. I like that one. Good morning to you too, Brent. All right, the boys have an appetite for destruction. Heck yeah. My goodness. Oh, yeah. You know what? That's one of my favorite bands of all time is Guns N' Roses. There, now you know. Dave Smith, Sarge, what do you think about bets? I read something actually just this morning because I try to do a little bit of research anyway for this. They said that he didn't have a very bad camp. So I think I mean that's a tough field to get into. I, I don't know a lot about him. I'm going to be honest with you. I just read that he had a good camp, more or less, and that he's one that could crack the code and make the team. So we'll see once training camp hits. But I don't know a lot about him, Dave. I'm sorry, but I think from what I've read that he had a pretty good camp. So Moonscar Blade with enough coverage time, help from the opposite side, and his consistent motor and relentless pursuit, 15 sacks in 17 games should be pretty much a lock, barring any injuries. I'm with you there. Let's talk about this. So, he had 11 sacks last year. I guess I should have looked that up before we started this, but I think he had 11 sacks in the regular season last year. 4 more isn't. I mean, he had a big lull of multiple games in a row where he didn't have any sacks. So why not add 4 more? All he needed to do was get to the quarterback. I mean, we talked about this a little bit yesterday, and I didn't pull up the stats, but I know he was one of the top guys in the league for quarterback pressure, quarterback hits, which meant but his sack rate was lower than the top guys, right? So that means he was getting there. It was just a little bit too late. So what that means is if we have defensive backs that can cover past 5 yards, it's going to be a lot harder for that quarterback to get rid of the ball as fast as they were against the Lions last year. So I don't see 15 being that hard to get. And I could be wrong. But Bobblehead Hutch says, yes, I'm gonna get my 15 sacks. You wait and see. So let's see what it think. What do y'all think? Come on, bring it on. Matthew Grice, I think that the additions with to the D line and the return of Houston, that I don't see any reason why Hutch can't get at least 1 sack per game. I think 15 is the minimum. I hope so. I hope it is the minimum. I think I think a lot of the players on that defensive line, or the edge guys, are rush guys. I think a lot of them are going to improve their sack totals, and obviously I'm throwing all this in that the secondary is going to be better. We have to hope it's better, right? So this is all optimism. This is all off-season talk. This is the dead time of the year where nothing is going on for until the end of July when camp starts, right? So obviously this is for fun, but this is also based in a little bit of, hey, this team isn't like what we've seen in the past, right? We always, I've known Dan for 30 years, and every year we're like, this is the year. But well, not really. There were some years that we knew it wasn't, right? But just you have to have that optimism. That optimism grows when they win games, and they won games last year. They won games the year before. So I'm just saying, I think all of our rushers are going to have more sacks than they did last year. All the rush guys, not everyone on the team, right? Like, I don't see Jack Campbell having more than 2 sacks or whatever. But Houston, if we had a full season out of him, who knows what would have happened last year if we would have had a full season out of him. Josh Pascal, I beat his drum all the time. And I think he's a good player, and some people don't like him, whatever, but I think he's going to improve this year. This is year 3 for him. Remember, Lee McNeil struggled this first couple of years, and then has really come on, and he's one of the top defensive tackles in the league, probably top 10, top 15, which is way better than where he was a couple of years ago. So I think he's going to be great. Robert Yankee, Sarge, you are doing a fantastic job. Appreciate you, Robert. Appreciate you. I'm not usually a morning person, especially talking to other people. So this is definitely a challenge for me. Broski Bear, good morning, everyone. Good morning to you, Broski. I'm excited to see what you have to say today. for sure. All right, Moonscar Blade, morning, brother Bear. How's the weather over there? Whew, I'll tell you what. All right, Broski Bear. I can see Hutch getting 15 sacks this season. Yeah. I think it's not out of the realm of possibility. It'll be exciting to watch. It'll be an exciting, sideline news thing to talk about all year round. Hey, let's get to 15. Let's get to 15. Gary Breed, good morning, Duke Crew. Sarge, doing excellent job. Thank you, Gary. Good morning to you. I appreciate you saying that. All right, Broski Bear, reasons why I live in the South. Moonscar. Weather has been amazing for the past 2 months already. Great time of year down here. I bet it is. We talk about moving south all the time. Once I'm officially retired, and I don't know. I don't know though. I don't know how far south you live, but you guys got good weather now. But come July and August, it's like 110 and you're dying. So I don't know. How far south do you live, Broski Bear? All right, Mike the Marine. What's up, Gunny? Howdy, Sarge and Lions Faithful. Good morning to you. Good morning. Howdy. Broski Bear, Dan living out his Viking fantasy in Iceland. Amazing. Yes, he is. He always, uh, uh, he's always talked about going to other places, but he's such a workaholic. He seems to never take time off. So I'm glad he went there. I'm glad him and Jen are having a good time. I wish him, I hope time slows down for him there so the days don't go too fast where he's already back home. All right. Brent DeWitt, you were doing great, Sarge. Thank you, Brent. I got Hutch getting 17 sacks. Army strong. Love it. Who wouldn't want to get 17 sacks, right? I'm telling you, I truly believe, and I'm not the only one, right? Like a lot of people in the NFL, a lot of pundits in the NFL already after year 2 have him one of the top defensive ends in the league. Those sacks are gonna come. What was I know there was a show Dan did last week or maybe the week before talking about they rated the top defensive ends and Hutch was number 6, and I don't think that's bad at all considering who the talent that's out there at edge rusher right now. And some of those guys on that list are peaked right now, are peaking, and they're going to start going this way, right? Or you hope so if they're not on the Lions team, right? So in Hutch's trajectory is still going up. He's still got a lot of years left, and he's getting better every year. And what I've talked about many times also is they've got the depth now that he can take some plays off. I mean off the field, not take plays off during the plays, right? So I think that's just going to keep him stronger. He's not going to have that lull in the season that he did last year because he was playing 100% of the snaps for every game. But that's just because they couldn't get him off the field. Having more depth, having Houston healthy, having Davenport hopefully healthy, having Josh Pascal, having Kaminsky being able to play inside and out, that's all going to be critical to get Hutch to that 15 is giving him some breaks during the game. All right, Rocky M, good morning all, and I can see a healthy so-called Captain Stubbs getting 15 sacks too. Woo! Good morning to you, Rocky M. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Bo Booth, 15 sacks for Hutch, 14-3 regular season record, number 1 seed, and blasting over the Hillary step to the Superdome. Lombardi, here we come. Absolutely. I love all of that, Bo. Moonscar Blade. I want Dan to put up a video looking down a volcanic crevice or something. Curious if he has seen lava flowing. I will tell you for a fact, yes, he has seen lava flowing. He showed me a video. He texted it to me on Monday, and they were in this room with people sitting on both sides, and this person speaking, and they actually let lava flow into the middle of the crowd. There's people sitting on both sides of this I don't know, this trench thing inside, and they flowed lava into it, and she was like poking it with a stick. I don't know what the stick really was, but and explaining what lava is. And she threw this big block of ice into it to show what happens when a big block of ice. And I asked Dan, and he said, yeah, it was pretty hot in there. So there you go. There's your answer. He's seen some lava flow. Motown Mitch, greetings, salutations, Sarge and Dew Crew. Good morning to you, Mitch. Lions rule, Bears drool. Hutch is a dog, and only 2 pass rushers I can put up there is Averill and Porsche. Yeah. So Cliff Averill is another one. I didn't mention him earlier. I just said Ansa and Porsche, but and I love Porsche. Porsche was my guy in the 90s, right? So for me to say I think Hutch is going to be better is a big deal to me. So but I think Hutch is, I think the sky's the limit with this guy. Here's the thought. Maybe not this year, because there's a lot of studs out there, but defensive player of the year, maybe not this year. Let's say maybe. What do you guys think? Garland 93, Sarge, who leads the teams in sack this year? I think I made that clear. I think it's going to be Hutchinson. But yeah, I think it's going to be Hutch. If it's not Hutch, then that's bad. I think that's bad because that means something happened, right? We don't want that. We're not going to mention it. Broski Bear at Rocky M. Wow, that's quite the prediction for the 6'1", 245 fire hydrant. Come on now, Browski. Come on, Broski. Moonscar Blade. I need that cup, bro. Broke my Yoda coffee cup and need a replacement. Well, I like this one. I like this one quite a bit. It's I got it for I think a birthday present or something. I don't remember. But it's still got delicious coffee in it. I'll tell you what. All right, Big D Sarge. Good morning, brother. Good morning to you. 15 sacks is a minimum. I love it. I love the enthusiasm. I love this, guys. I was wondering if I was gonna draw some ire for saying 15 sacks, but it sounds like y'all are pretty big fans. Broski Bear, Hutch had 9.5 sacks his rookie season and 11.5 last season. Well, there you go. He's improving every year. 11.5 last year. That means he only needs 3.5 more to get to 15, right? I mean, 3.5 sacks doesn't sound like a whole lot. Why would it be so hard to get to 15, right? That's in my eyes anyway. Thanks for the stats, though, Broski Bear. Appreciate you. Phil, Dan said no content from him for a week. Jen should have stopped him. I don't think she can stop him. I don't think he can help himself. He's got to do stuff, especially since it's his boy Jake Bates, right? Like you gotta. She was probably on the other side of the volcano. He probably snuck off, saying, "Hey, I gotta go to the restroom or something," and then did the video real quick. Then she probably smacked the phone out of his hand after that. But we'll see. We'll see. Broski Bear, Hutch had 9 tackles for loss his rookie season and 14 tackles for loss last season. All right. Improving every year, right? Thank you for that, Broski. Phil, Sarge, how long were you in the military? 25 years. 25 years. Most of my adult life, I'll tell you that. I took some time off between the Marine Corps and joining the Michigan Army National Guard. But that's why I'm as old as I am and only have 25 years. But 25 years, done and done, man. I'm ready to not be. Obviously, I'm retired now. So, Moonscar Blade, 100 plus pressures. Time to put asses in the dirt. Absolutely, knock them down. If you can't sack them, still give them a nudge, right? As much as you can in this league anymore, right? You gotta be careful for that for sure. Detroit D, greetings, salutations to everyone. Greetings to you this morning, Detroit D. Five Fingers Freddy, good morning, Duke Crew. Good morning to you as well, Freddie. I hope you're having a great morning. Matthew Grice, Porsche had 15 in 1999. Ah, there you go. There you go. I didn't know that. I knew he had a lot, but I didn't know. Well, maybe Hutch needs 15.5 then. I don't know. Is that the record? Y'all know if that's the record or not? 15? Let me know while y'all are doing this. Broski Bear, I can also see Montez Sweat getting 15 sacks this season. I can too. He's a great player. That'd be quite the interesting battle to watch throughout the year. Hutch and Sweat, seeing their sack totals moving forward. And I just hope he gets 0 against us. Be fair. Detroit D. Hutch ends the season with 16 and a half sacks and possibly defensive player of the year. Love what you're thinking, Detroit D. I love it. I think that's I think the sack total could be a possibility. Defensive player of the year, a lot of other things would have to go right. And maybe some things go wrong. I mean, Myles Garrett is still out there. Micah Parsons, Bosa. There's a few players out there that might want to fight about that one, but I definitely would say if there probably is already a betting line for who's going to win defensive player of the year, but I wouldn't be surprised, at least if he's in the top 10, talk about that before the season even starts. All right, Moonscar Blade at Phil. Some you just can't reach, which is the way he wants. Well, he gets it. I know exactly what you're talking about. We don't need no Civil War. Or are you talking about the movie? There you go. Y'all know the song Civil War from GNR. Someone tell me what movie that phrase is from. You'll get an extra woo from me today. How's that? If you can tell me that. All right, mile marker 301. Good morning. Should we look forward to more sacks from Iffy at safety too? I mean, that was a pretty exciting part of the season, and towards when he started to become the full-time guy, and he got some sacks at the end of the year. I don't know if he got 2, 3, maybe he got 4. Can't remember off the top of my head, but if he got 4 again this year, or maybe 5, how crazy would that be, right? And with the packages that they're talking about, and I'll bring this up real quick too. They've talked there. Some of the coaches are talking about Brian Branch playing more safety this year. They said last year they focused on him just being a nickel because he was a rookie and they wanted him to figure out the game, right? Which obviously he did. He's probably one of the best corners or nickel corners in the league right now. But now that they're saying now that the game is slowed down for him, there's a good chance that he plays a lot of safety. And that's not saying he's going to start at safety over Iffy or over Kirby Joseph. But what they're saying is he's going to be playing some safety. So keep that in mind. Keep a watch on that at camp and preseason. See what they do with him. But that could free up Iffy. That they could play a 3 safety set where if he plays down in the box and then gets after it. Let's see. That'd be great. That'd be great if he gets more sacks this year. Five Fingers Freddy, but how many picks will Hutch snag? What's the over under? Let's say he gets 3 picks this year. Maybe returns one for a touchdown. Here's Johnny. Saw Dan's video of him enjoying Iceland near the active volcano. Be safe, do crew, Dan and fam. Right on. Yeah, man. That whole island, he told me they said the island grew in surface by 2 miles last year because of the volcano. So the island's getting bigger, which means I don't know if I'd be standing on top of it right now. But hey, it looks like fun to me. K-pop, I'll say AH gets 2 picks, 16 and a half sacks. I like it. I would take that. Every single day. Robert Yankee, Sarge, you have a towel of destiny. I do not. I just have my bobblehead Aiden Hutchinson right here. And his leg does a thing too. I don't know if you guys get, they gave these away at the game last year. Actually, this one's my wife's. Mine's down in the basement, but I didn't feel like going down there and getting it. Don't tell her. All right, Motown Mitch. I'm with Broski in the South. The heat is terrible for the next couple months, but winters are great. Right. I can't, we talk about moving south, but we're like, maybe we stop since we're in Michigan, obviously, but we're like, let's stop like Kentucky or Tennessee where if it does snow in the winter, it's a dusting compared to what we get up here. And then it doesn't get overbearing. It's the heat in Michigan. It's pretty hot here. Like it's going to be 90 tomorrow, Friday, what day? It's going to be 90, I think, tomorrow. So, I mean, we're already getting hit with the heat too. So, I like the AC. I'll tell you what. All right, Broski Bears, Charlotte, North Carolina here. All right, all right. On the North Carolina, South Carolina border. It's hot in the summer, but you still get 4 seasons here and no snow. That's nice. I've adapted to the summer down here and love it. May and October here on another level. Oh, I can imagine, Broski. I can imagine. But then you get down to the Carolinas and further, then you got to worry about a lot of dangerous animals that can kill you that we don't have up here. I mean, obviously we got bear, there's wolves in the UP. Uh, they probably wouldn't, but there's but down there you got a lot of snakes that'll kill you, and you got gators, and I don't know if I want to mess with that because I like being outdoors. Moonscar Blade, I'll be surprised if Hutch gets any more sacks. Maybe another one, possibly two for the rest of his career. Being a defensive end, you never know though. What? I think you're being sarcastic. T-Born, thanks for liking in, start looking in maybe. Can't wait for the season to get here. Woo! Me neither, T-Born. Broski, Pascal, Davenport, Houston, the three Bumsketeers. You are so wrong on that one. So wrong. Motown, bet you eat those words, Broski. I bet he does too, Motown Mitch. I bet he does too. Here's Johnny. I've got a Lions going 12-4-1. Stay humble. Oh man, I will. Ties are terrible. They should just adopt what the college does and let them go until someone outscores the other player or other team. I don't know why ties are ever a thing in any sport. Pat Rothwell. Hey, how's it going? How's it going with you? I'm good. Do you like doing the show? I do. I enjoy doing this. Dan does it 7 days a week. That's pretty freaking amazing, and he's been doing it for a long time now. And for those of you that maybe are new or haven't seen me before, I have done a few shows with him in the past. It used to be more regular, but over the last, I don't know, 6 months or so, I've kind of gone away from it a little bit, just kind of hitting every once in a while. Once things get calmed down around here for me, I'll probably get on and do some more shows more frequently. It's going to be coming up on year 2 that he's been doing this. I think, I know when he first started, we did a few shows. It was already started. The season had already started about 2 years ago. So 2 years will be, I think, September, October. I don't remember exactly, but I do enjoy doing this. It's a fun way to start my morning. It gets started on a high note instead of me just going, what do I got to do for work today? You know what I mean? But yeah, I enjoyed doing the show. I appreciate you asking. Having a good time. I hope you guys are having a good time with me. All right. Pat, again, do you think defensive end Bates and Levi make the team? I had said on the show, I think Monday, that I think Levi might be a candidate to not make the team. But then I kind of looked at who else, and I think that's up to Broderick Martin improving. Like if he doesn't improve, and I mean leaps and bounds, right? I think Levi's going to make the team. But I talked about him having a diminished role on the team if Broderick Martin steps up, because I know they want to if Broderick Martin takes a giant leap from last year, his rookie year, his developmental year, it could take time away from Levi. I think Levi still makes the team, but he might have a diminished role. And who knows Wingo, how he does. Maybe he's what he was at LSU before the injuries. But we'll see. Bates, I think, is a harder. Is it? Yeah, I don't. No, probably not. I don't think they keep more than 4, and I'm pretty sure Houston is going to be pretty much straight up a defensive end, even though he's / outside linebacker. I think they're only going to keep 4, and that it would be, or 5. And that's obviously Hutch, Pascal, Houston, Kaminsky, and Davenport. I know because they like that versatility with Kaminsky to go inside and out. So I don't think they're going to keep more than 5 of those guys. But we'll see. Bo Booth, Dan is definitely dedicated to the Do crew. He absolutely is. He absolutely is. Matthew Grice, if Hutch doesn't get 15 sacks, then that means he was double teamed all year. Right. If they do that, then DJ Reader, Aleem, and Houston will make them pay. I agree. I agree with that. If Houston doesn't, or I'm sorry, if Hutch doesn't get that far or get that many sacks, it means a lot of other players are getting a lot of sacks. They've got to, they've got to make them pay for double teaming Hutch, right? All right. Gary Hutchings. Good morning, all. Good morning to you, Gary. Grit for life. Absolutely. Sarge, doing a great job. Thank you. Appreciate that, Gary. Appreciate you. I think 15 sacks for Hutch is not unreasonable. I was thinking around 15 myself. Love the hat. LOL. Thank you. Got my buddy one. Awesome. Yep. Yep. I wear this often. I'll just go with that. Motown Mitch, 15 is the Lions record for sacks in a season. Appreciate you checking that out for us, Mitch. Let's get Hutch to 15 then. Tie that right, or 15 and a half to break it. I would love to see that in year 3 for him. Uncle Buzz 1, perhaps an 8 o'clock show with Sarge's in the future. I'll tell you, yeah, that might be a little bit nicer. 7 o'clock's not saying I sleep in until 8 o'clock or 7 or whatever, but yeah, I just I like to ease into my mornings, like we talk about, get up, feed the dogs. I got one of them sitting right here. That's why I was looking over there. Feed the dogs their breakfast, pour some coffee, just kind of sit in silence because I work from home. My wife goes to work, so it's just me and the dogs in the morning. I just sit there, have my coffee, don't turn anything on, don't stare at my phone, just pet them, enjoy the morning, ease into it. But then I was like, I told Dan, I'm like, do you need someone to do your show for you while you're gone? And I was like, I'll do it. And then I was like, oh man, that means I got to start talking to people at 7 in the morning, but that's all right. I wouldn't change this for the world, man. I love doing this. This is exciting. This is fun. And I enjoy talking to y'all. And I went on a little bit of a rant there. I apologize. Sometimes I'll do that. So get me back on track. All right. Moonscar Blade, Porsche, 95.5 career sacks. Wow. But Bubba Baker had 75.5 sacks in 5 seasons with the Lions, right? 23 of them his rookie season, unofficial. Yeah. It's too bad they can't go back and give Bubba Baker those sacks before they can, it seems like and I can see why maybe not, because television, or the TV crews maybe didn't have as many cameras back then, so they can't officially give everyone every stat that they didn't keep track of before. Maybe, I don't know, but on the other hand, maybe they should get Bubba Baker those sacks that he should have gotten. And you are correct, Moonscar Blade. Cool Hand Luke is where that phrase came from. And what a great movie with Paul Newman, right? Matthew Grice, Porsche is a sack leader for Detroit, and 15 is the record for Detroit. All right. But there was someone before sacks were kept as a record, but I can't remember who that was. We just talked about that. That was Bubba. All right. Gary Hutchings, Cool Hand Luke. Absolutely. Thank you. I'm glad y'all know some of the old school stuff. Y'all must be old like me, right? Here's Johnny. The Booner Path on Crunch Time Sports Network has Hutch as 24 Defensive Player of the Year. Let's go. That's awesome. All right. At least someone's already talking about it, right? I hope Hutch can make that a reality. Moonscar Blade, Cool Hand Luke. But I'm referring to Dan, who can't help himself from working. Yes, he cannot. Phil, what we have here is a failure to communicate. Absolutely. All right. Great Lakes State guy, Michigan. Good morning. Good morning to you. What will happen first? Caleb breaks a nail or his thumb gets torn during a tackle? I'm going with the second one on that one. Broski Bear, shout out. Here's Johnny for blocking me. All right. Good for those guys. Great Lakes guy, excited about our secondary this year with that traffic cone. Will Harris gone. It can only get better. Sorry, made me laugh this morning. That's a good one. I'm telling you, the secondary is going to be so much different than last year. I'm not going to say better yet because they haven't played a game in the regular season together yet. So we can't say better. I mean, we can't. We want to. But let's just say they're going to be different and they're going to be better. Phil, my compass points north. Tomorrow the temp in Traverse City is 60. Wow. Traverse City is beautiful. We'll be there in the fall, actually. But it's only going to be 60 in Traverse City tomorrow. Wow. It's going to be 90 here. So if you want to get warmer, drive a few hours down. Phil, moose are dangerous. Yes, they are. Absolutely. I skipped that. I said elk, didn't I? Elk and bear. But yeah, moose are not anyone that you want to approach. Let's put it that way. Moonscar Blade, dry heat is one thing. I can take 110 in the desert, but 90 in Michigan when humidity is 40%. Yeah, humidity is not great. But I'll tell you, a few years ago, Dan and I went and visited some friends out in Vegas in August, and 110 dry heat in Vegas still sucked. Moonscar, oops, I meant any more interceptions. I don't remember what you were talking about, but let me go back up here. Now, we get you. We got you, Moonscar. Phil, your woos are getting better, Sarge. Thank you. Thank you. It only took me 3 days. Sarge, if you played, what position and number would you have? Well, I did play in high school. Come on. And back then, I was a huge Jerry Rice fan, so I wore number 80. But I was a defensive back, so I was a defensive back with a number 80. Go figure, right? But since Jerry Rice was my favorite, that's the number I wore. And it was weird. I'm sure it was weird seeing a number 80 as a cornerback. and yes, I was a corner. Can't tell now, but I was skinny and fast back then. So yeah, corner. So, but if I played right now, I'll tell you what, I'd rather be a middle linebacker, and I would probably wear number, I don't know, 54. Let's go with that. Phil, Dan sits there and answers our questions. How hard is that? Actually, it's pretty easy. It's not hard. Sometimes I get asked a question that I really don't know the answer to, but I'm just going to be real with you and tell you I don't know. Like earlier talking about that player Betts, I don't really know much about him, so I told you. So it actually helps because it keeps the flow going. If I didn't have the comments going and answering questions, I wouldn't know how to talk to y'all for an hour, to be honest. Like I'm like, I'd have to write stuff down and just go, and that would be boring for everyone. I think participation has to be a key to a long morning show, right? All right. Hour, yeah, I gotcha. Mile marker 301 at Phil. Are you kidding? What's he kidding about? What I forget. Great Lakes States guy. I would be fine if he took a day off or two during the week, especially since since the off season has to be crazy tiring sometimes. Yeah. He needs and part of that's because of his style. Like he's a high motor, high rev. Every play is the play, right? For him. So getting him some rest this year is definitely key to him being better than he was last year. Phil, about what? Right. That's what I said. Oh, how hard can it be? Hey, this isn't easy. What are you talking about? Phil, is answering questions for less than an hour hard? No. Not at all. Chuckle Cheese. Good morning, brother. Good morning to you. Glad to see you made it back for us. All right, you are doing a great job, Sarge. Thank you. Appreciate it. You guys are great. Even if I don't know if you're making it up, just saying it, but I appreciate it. And I'll do this as long as I can. Moonscar Blade, supposedly Hutch was one of the most double team player last year. I've read that too, or I've heard that. I don't know, I don't know the stats behind it or anything like that, but it seemed like he was double teamed a lot. And that's why we need more of these other players to step up. We need a healthy Pascal. We need a healthy Houston, Davenport. With Reader in the middle, maybe that frees up Lee McNeil to get up the middle a little more. Get some blitz packages in there. Anything to get it so he's not double teamed all the time. And again, a stronger secondary is going to help that as well. Brent DeWitt, Levi has been proving me wrong, and I'm not counting him out. I don't want to count him out. I'll tell you, I want him to be the number 2 pick, or the second round pick that we thought he would be. I'm a L5S1 fusion survivor, and it amazes me that he's playing NFL football. Wow. Well, glad you're good after that that fusion. I know I'm not to say a whole bunch of stuff, but I've got some L4 L5 stuff going on right now. So I know I'm not going to have surgery, but I get shots. Let's just go with that. Sucks. All right. Mile marker 301. Doing it daily? Yes, I think so. Keeping the quality up? Yes, I think so. Dealing with old bulls in chat? Yes, I think so. Right. But hey, it's fun. And at the end of the week, I give it back to Dan. So boom, there you go. Phil, we need a Sarge show after Dan. Maybe. We'll see. I don't know if you guys got all day to listen to me just yapping. All right. Phil, what kind of dog? So we've got 2. We've got a toy Australian Shepherd. His name is Winchester. Where we call him Chester. And then we've got this guy here. There's going to be something I have to tell y'all. The little one is at doggy daycare because he goes every Wednesday. My wife just insists on it. Then this guy here next to me is a pit bull lab mix. His name is Pickles because I think it's an awesome name for a dog. And we rescued him coming up on 1 year. On the 17th, it'll be his 1 year gotcha day, and he's about 2, I think, or maybe a little bit older than 2. We don't know. That's why we celebrate his gotcha day. But we love dogs here, and those are our 2, Winchester and Pickles. All right, Motown Mitch, who's your prediction to be our starting secondary? So I think Davis is going to start, and I think Arnold is going to start in the corners. I just think that's the most realistic. Nickel is a little harder, not because of if they keep Branch at nickel, then he's the starter at nickel. If they move him, maybe that gives that'll either put Robertson there or Rakestraw. Secondary, like I said Monday, I don't think Kirby Joseph and Iffy, I don't think both of them will be starters. I think one of them is going to lose their starting job. If they do decide to move Branch to safety on a more permanent basis, then Kirby Joseph might be out of a starting spot. And that would mean obviously someone else is at nickel. Probably Robertson over Rakestraw right now. Maybe they want to wait a year to develop Rakestraw. We don't have to have 2 rookie corners out there at the same time, right? But in all fairness, if they don't move Branch will be the nickel, and Iffy and Kirby will be the starters with Terry and Arnold, and Davis will probably be CB1 because he's got the experience, right? That maybe that flips as the season goes on once Arnold proves himself. But that's what I think. Yeah. All right. Phil, Sarge lives Sarge lives to just sit there with the dogs. I do. I love dogs. We go to a dog park and they run around with the other dogs, and it's all I love dogs, man. Phil, can the Lions maintain the winning? What happens if they bomb? Those are 2 terrible questions, Phil. Do you mean maintain like after this year? Because we expect them to win this year, right? So are you talking about going forward, or do you think all of a sudden this year, like the Lions of the 90s, right? They'd win 10 games and then they'd win 4, then they'd win 9 games, then they'd win 3, right? They were just going up and down all during Barry's uh 10-year run. It seems like they never could put 2 winning seasons together. We've done that. At least we were 9-8, and then last year obviously we won 12. So um, I think they can maintain it as long as as long as Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes are around. You know, coordinators come and go, right? And we've been lucky that Ben Johnson's keeps coming back, even though he's getting job offers. So I think they can maintain it for the future. They've locked down a lot of their core for the next few years, right? They've got Sewell on a long term, they've got St. Brown, and they've got Goff. And and there's probably going to be a few more in the next couple of years that sign those long-term deals as well. They will probably need to start looking at offensive line in the future to make sure the offense can stay. Taylor's getting up there. We never know how long Frank's going to be around. Zeitler is it's probably a one and done with us. I think. Glasgow, you got to figure a year from now, maybe 2 years from now, Sewell might be the only guy left from on that offensive line. So that's where I'm the most concerned, is it looking down the line, looking in the future, is what that offensive line is going to look like. Great Lakes State guy. I love Hutch, but hopefully he adds to his toolbox this year. Yeah. The bull rush and spin move won't last forever. Yeah, you're right. He's just got to keep focusing on it, and I think he will. He always seems like he's one of the hardest workers on the field, on the practice field. I'm sure the coaches have something for him, to help him out with that. I think he's definitely going to add to that toolbox. Motown Mitch, I think Hutch's best move is his inside rip move. So there is a third for you. Very much so, Mitch. Very much. Chuckle Cheese. Baseball is allowing Neuro League stats to count for. Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. The Negro Leagues. They did. They infused all of those for many years back. So you can go back. So why can't you go back and make changes in the NFL too? Yeah, I agree with you. They could definitely go back. The problem is, so, and this is just me spitballing. I don't know what they're talking about or what they're thinking, but they didn't keep stats on sacks, so they'd actually literally have to go back and watch every game before 1982. At least in the MLB, when they did the Negro Leagues, they had stats already there. So they're just taking the stats that are already there and adding them to the Major League Baseball stats. Since they didn't keep sack stats before, I don't know if that's, I'm sure you understand what I'm saying, but I don't know if it's possible for them to do that. I mean, they could probably hire someone to actually do that to watch all the games. But I don't know if they'll do that. They should. I think they absolutely should, though. Here's Johnny. No bear zone. Absolutely. We don't like bears here. All right. Mile marker 301. By the way, Sarge, we have wolves here at the tip of the mitten, too. Oh, yeah. I know that. Yeah. Hopefully your animals are safe up there. Sanoski, sorry if I said that wrong. What kind of trash talk can a white DB talk? Carefully. I assume carefully. Moonscar Blade, Broski Bear. I don't see here's Johnny's comments anymore either. He probably deleted them. I just saw one, didn't I? Yeah, I just saw one. If you post a comment, then delete it, the YouTuber host still gets it, so no point in deleting it. Well, there you go. Mile marker, big cat sightings in the area since the pandemic. Oh, and big cat. Yeah. Well, they've even seen some down here, the town next to me, someone's, what is it? Like camera outside, picked up picked up a big cat. So I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It's crazy, but yeah, I forgot we do have some of them too. Moonscar Blade. I see that comment. Here's Johnny. There you go. Here's Johnny. For Dan's sake, I deleted it. He doesn't like a shout out to other channels. Oh, okay. I got you. All right. Great Lake State. I'd wear the same Spielman for life. Yeah, you knew what I was talking about. Absolutely. Kurt Steele. What up, Do Crew? Good morning to you, Kurt Steele. How you doing today? How you doing? Great Lakes State guy. I met Dan taking off. Taking time off the show. Here's Johnny promoting Hutchinson for defensive player of the year. It's about production on the field and hype off the field. Absolutely. You got to do both, just like those Heisman people, right? Moonscar, the late LTL with the Sarge. Right on. I like it. We'll do a late show at because I'm a night guy, not a nightlife guy. I don't like going out. But I definitely like staying up late. So maybe we'll have evenings with the Sarge. What do y'all think of that one? Broski Bears, Sinowski, the white DB will cover you like white on rice. Chuckle Cheese, maybe you guys should do it together like a debate show. Yeah, we've done a few of those. We've done some shows together where we talk. He'll ask me questions and I'll talk to him. We don't disagree on a lot of things very often. So I don't know if it would be a good debate, or maybe we could just choose ahead of time. You're going to take this line and I'm going to take this line, or whatever. Broski Bears, shout out. Here's Johnny for deleting his comment. Yeah, we got that. Mile marker, Pickles, Winchester. Hey, puppies. He's sleeping. Phil, doggy daycare. LOL. I have a treeing Walker Coonhound named Rosie. Awesome. That's awesome. Brent DeWitt. Brent, sorry. How many secondary sacks this season? 6. Yeah, pulled that out of nowhere. I'll say 5. All right, we'll do 5. Big Das. Good morning, Sar and Dew Crew. Good morning to you. I think it will be Davis, Arnold, Branch, Iffy, and Kirby. Yeah, I agree with that. I don't think that's going to change unless, and that's not even talking about injuries, but the only way I think that changes is if they decide Branch is a better safety than Kirby is. And that also could determine if whoever they fill in at nickel can keep the same level as Branch or close to it. Great Lakes State guy, did you decide on Pickles? I like Winchester. We named Winchester. Pickles already had that name, and we decided we wanted to keep it. And we talked about changing it when we rescued him, but then we said, you know what? It's pretty unique. It's pretty cool. And they've already been calling him that anyway, so let's do it. So that's why we did not pick that one, but we did pick Winchester. I did, obviously. Chuckle Cheese. I think Branch stays at nickel. Yeah, he thrives there, and the rest of the secondary will rotate positionless. I can see that. I can see a lot of people. Well, they already talked about Branch playing some safety, so I think you're right. I think his primary is going to be at nickel, but I think they're going to rotate some packages where he plays safety for sure. Here's Johnny. If Branch isn't 100%, Robertson holds his spot. I've read Branch is supposed to be ready by training camp. If you guys have seen something different, let me know. But I don't think they're worried about him missing time. Hopefully let's hope that's really the case. Is that still you at Sinowski? Moonscar Blade, 94 and 95 were the only years the Lions had a winning record with Barry. A 9-win followed by okay. Yep. So you're talking about consecutive seasons. Yeah, they had some good teams. They had some good defenses in the 90s. They had offensive weapons. They just couldn't win games. It was the bottom line, right? They just couldn't win. I never understood that. But yeah, it is what it is, I guess. Don Burr, F the Bears, Detroit versus everyone. Good morning, Don. That's absolutely right. Great Lakes State guy, Taylor is owed his payday too, right? How much can we keep that up, assuming they're all healthy? I think Decker has 2 options. If he wants to stay with Detroit, he's going to take less money. I honestly, I think that's the case. I saw in the news there was an article that said Sorsdal is actually taking all reps at tackle now. So maybe they're grooming him to take over at right tackle and move Sewell over to left tackle, and this could be Taylor's Decker's last year. I don't know if that's just me speculating, reading between the lines kind of thing, but I don't know. I don't think Taylor Decker is going to get a huge payday from Detroit. They just can't afford it. Like you're saying, how much can we keep that up, right? I like Taylor Decker. I hope he stays aligned for his whole career, but he's he's not the guy. He's over 30 now, so what happens then. You start becoming either a journeyman or you start taking less money. Chuckle Cheese Hutch's bull rush and spin move will keep going on until they can stop it, which is doubtful. I gotcha. I like that. I like that. Sanoski, smiley face, laughy faces. Phil, we've seen deer carcasses in trees. Only big cats do that. Right on, Phil. I know exactly what you're talking about. They like to take them up there so they can eat in peace, right? And not have to deal with all the other predators out there. So yeah, I definitely believe there's a lot of big cats in Michigan. Great Lake State, carefully. Phil, evenings with Sarge, bring candles and wine. Hey, it's Wine Down Wednesday, y'all. There's a place by us that has 75-cent wings. So yes, I'll be drinking wine with my wings. Hey, it's blasphemy, right? I told my wife that and she's like, do whatever you want. Right. But I like it, Phil. Evenings with the Sarge. Little slow jazz in the background, or some yacht rock. Y'all got Sirius XM radio. Listen to yacht rock. I'll have yacht rock playing in the background. Great Lake States guy. We have had mountain lions in Hubbard Lake. Very few, but they are south of the bridge for sure. Yeah. All right, Bo Booth, famous head slap. Chuckle Cheese. It's not gonna be 62 in Traverse City tomorrow. It's gonna be 83. Oh, okay. All right. I thought someone said 60 or whatnot, but what you guys know, mile marker 301, that far east, that's something, eh? Oh yeah. Phil, the water keeps it cool this time of year in Traverse City. Yeah, I can see that. We've been there in the summertime, and we've been there in like April. When we went in April, it was still snowing up there. So I know it's definitely different up there in Traverse City. But yeah, does that water ever get warm in the summer? It seems like it's always cold. All right, Moonscar Blade. Yeah, consecutive seasons off my game today. Yeah, no, I figured out what you were saying. All right, Great Lakes State guy, tell Carrie to tuck his jersey in. Drives me nuts. Maybe it's old school. Yeah, yeah, I totally get that. Let's see where we at. Mile marker 301. We want Decker to win a ring with us. Yes, I agree. I would like Taylor Decker to stick around. I mean, let's face it, he's on the team this year, and this is our year. So let's hope that happens. And he gets it with us for sure. Sanoski, Decker has to go. They're wasting Sewell's talent, keeping him on the right. I don't know. He was all pro on the right last year. I don't know how much waste that is. See what you're saying? I mean, obviously, Sewell's the better tackle of the two, but it works for us, right? Right now, it works. Decker's a good left tackle. Sewell is the best right tackle in the league, so it's hard to compare the two. But I think he's doing just fine. Phil, water temp changes with wind direction. Yeah, I bet it does. All right. Matthew Grice, Decker had his payday last contract. That's true too. He did get a big pay increase for that last contract that he signed. So probably not going to get any more. Or not another giant one, right? Like he's just I don't think very many offensive linemen over 30 get the big payday anymore. Even if you're a left tackle. I think Williams is probably the only one that did. Trent Williams out of San Francisco. Chuckle Cheese, Decker is a great left tackle. I agree. Like he's definitely, it's too bad he's never gotten to the Pro Bowl, right? But there's so many good left tackles, I guess. But I'd say, I'd say over the years he's held his own for us, and he's the longest tenured Lion for by far. So yeah, so looks like we're coming up on 8 o'clock, y'all. I appreciate you sticking around. Don't forget to hit the like button. I forgot to say that at the beginning. Oh my gosh, I'm so terrible at my job. But hey, Bobblehead Hutch says, have a great day. And I will see you all tomorrow. Have a great time with your day. And we'll see you tomorrow on Lions Talk Live.